What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. We are moving not too much over the last couple days, but they have been exciting. It's probably like some of the most exciting price movement we've seen since we started moving down, honestly. I mean, this day was exciting, but this to me is this past week has been a lot more exciting. Even though I do, of course, anticipate and desire the price to go down. It's exciting because even if it moves up, we're getting some kind of directional heading here, one way or another. You know, if we have to catch the move, if I have to catch the move somewhere around here to catch the move that's going to take us past that high, so be it. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But overall, from this overall range, like if we were to draw a fib on it, just for perspective, right? You're still buying in the lower half of this range. The half mark is the yellow line. So you can't really be too upset about that. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I have my reasons for that, you know, and I'll go into that in this video. But I mean, we definitely could. Again, this is the one time throughout this whole range that I've actually been like sweating that we're actually going to continue to go upwards potentially. Again, to reiterate, I don't think that. It's a concern. It's a concern. And I think anybody, whether you're expecting it to go up or down, I'm sure everybody's concerned and watching this thing like a hawk. We have about 10 minutes left till this 4-hour close. It's at about $2.12.50 right now, which is just barely below this 4-hour. And I want to talk about something that I made a post on real quick here. I say a post because it's not a tweet. It's x.com. It says twitter.com, but it's X, right? They're not tweets anymore. They're posts, or I heard someone say they're excretions, or because it's excrement. I don't know, but I've exscribed on my page, is that what we'd call it, right? Bitcoin Cash price update. Hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour will be invalidated with price. I meant to say price. I just said with below, but with price below about $2.12.50, and the 4-hour RSI will also be below the 50. And it won't be below the 50. If we look at this, it's actually not below the 50. I kind of wrote this poorly, but I meant like if it closed here or lower, it would be below the 50. Notice the price increasing on a closing basis, right? While volume is dying off. Solid bearish signal, not always, but most of the time. And you can see it here. You've got, you know, closing basis, closing basis, closing basis, higher highs, even with this lower high of a wick, but declining volume. And I mean, we can see it on the actual chart as well. You know, just volume. I guess on Coinbase it's not as obvious, but that's where you take it BCH. I must have been looking at the Binance chart. Yeah, you can see it a little bit more obviously here on the Binance chart. Each time you get a closing high that's new, it's just lower volume. Lower volume, that's all it is. So looking at the price on Binance, we're a little bit lower than the one on Coinbase, but more or less they're the same, right? As long as we close, what I was saying on this post on X, what I said on my Discord, shout out to the Discord, this is the House of the Dragon page. This is where we only talk about Bitcoin Cash, but if you guys want to talk about other stuff, there are no rules. So, I mean, whatever. But ideally, this page is meant for Bitcoin Cash. But, you know, I've been making updates on it today, and I make updates on it here and there. I feel like I just mainly like point things out that I think are significant to pay attention to. And this hidden bearish divergence is looking more convincing to me with today's close. I wrote that because if we bump it out to the daily here, we can see that we actually did get a red day to point this high down. And generally, whenever you get that kind of stuff, you know, I mean, you could, let's see, like here you had a red day, and then you had a green day, and then you went down, whatever. Here you had a red day, and then you continue to build upwards, you know, so it's not completely condemning. But the idea that you have a higher high here in the RSI, and you have a lower high here in price, and that constituting as hidden bearish divergence, it becomes more real the more red candles we get underway. So just keep that up. If that's the case, and that to me does signal that we are still in a downtrend, beyond the fact that we do have lower highs and we don't have lower lows anymore, but that doesn't matter. We could still, from here, form a new lower low. That is on the table, especially if this is a relative high. With declining volume, I feel pretty safe in that assumption, right? You got up to your highs here. You had a closing high, ended it with bearish divergence. And the reason also I was saying on this x.com post that the hidden bullish divergence will be invalidated with price below about $12.50 is because here, some of you might look at this, and this is where I'll kind of like help refine your skills if you're new to trading. You might see this low here and say, well, this low's lower than this low over here. So this is lower lows and it's higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence. But that's not at all how you would look at it, right? Because I'm not going to call this double bearish divergence, right? Where I have a high here that's higher than this high, but you have a high that's higher in between. I'm not gonna do that, right? That's not how you do bearish divergence. You do it like this, right? From this high to this high. And that's basically what you'd be doing here if you were to consider this like hidden bullish divergences. You'd be forgetting about this low here and this low here. You do have lower lows. It would be just another lower low. And the thing that would make it hidden, or the thing that would make it hidden bullish divergence, would be if this RSI was above this actually before it closes. But I wonder actually, yeah, because this is just 1 4 hour. You can see it here if we were to really zoom it in, kind of spread it out here. Pay attention to where the vertical dashed line goes. It only goes on the 4 hour increments. So here is where it started. Here is where it will end. This little point here is where it pivots. So if the candle closes green, this line will be neutral. It'll be flat. If it's at 0%. If it closes green, it'll be angled upwards like this one was. It doesn't take much to angle it upwards. It just has to be green a little bit. But if it's red at all, it'll angle downwards. And the reason why it's important if it's red to close red is because if it closes below this here, that's where this low in the RSI is coming from. So what I'm getting to is closing and see if it closes neutral. If it closes like 0.01% red, that could be hidden bullish divergence. But if it closes red basically at all, you're not going to have any hidden bullish divergence. So that's why it would be nice to see this thing close below this. Yes, there is a big wick to the upside or to the downside here coming up. But I'm not really too concerned about that right now. I think what we have really truthfully is you have a little range. You are getting your lowest closing low in the next 4 minutes, hopefully. And that could signal a breakout. You know, you had a little bit of a test run right here, and we might be getting set up for more of that. Volume is picking up on the 4 hour. It's starting to pick up a little bit more than average volume. That's what the histogram is. That's the average volume, right? And the average volume has gone down in itself. So yes, this is less volume than this over here, but it's still above average volume compared to the relative candles. Volume's picking up, and we are moving lower. That tends to be a sign that we are probably going to go lower, but who knows? Looking at the 1 hour, that 1 hour looks pretty bullish, man, not gonna lie. But you could just be testing a previous area of support as resistance. That could be the case as well. The 1 hour RSI does look bearish in my opinion. You are in this nice kind of downtrend in the 1 hour RSI. Looks like you hit the bottom. You're going to go back up to the top, probably around the 50 area, and then turn around from there. So maybe the price does go back up to about like 215, 216, something like that, and then turns around, right? We get another lower high in the RSI, and then continue to go down. Once we get into the oversold zone, I would expect that we see a more dramatic move, probably that would take us down to about anywhere probably around $200, give or take $5 either way, 195 to 205, something like that, around this purple line. 4 hour RSI does look like it's starting to form a downtrend as well. But who knows? Like this kind of looks like an overall M pattern in itself, kind of like a reverse bow, right? Like that there. But it's any man's game right now. You know, it doesn't take much for this thing to turn around and start doing bullish things again. But I really do think, all this beating around the bush to say, I do think that it goes lower. Still in that position, still in that camp, still holding true to that. I do think what we have at the moment is hidden bearish divergence, higher highs with lower highs, and I think that is a signal that we will see lower lows. And if you were to measure where these lower lows could be, you take this bottom here to this top, projecting it downward, and your general expectation would be somewhere between this yellow line and this blue line, somewhere around the 1618 to the 1272. Now, will it happen like this? Will it happen fast? Will it crawl down there? I don't know. I'm not that guy. You know, I'm not going to predict the speed. I would think with a fake move up, like getting kind of double faked out, I would think that it would be kind of quick. It could be slow back to the starting line and then dump from there. It might be fast back to the starting line, slowly creep, and then finish with a crash dump. I would think that it would be quicker, but it could just work its way down systematically for a while. It doesn't have to happen fast. Although Bitcoin Cash does like to move fast. Sorry I keep clearing my throat, guys. There must be a fire or something. I don't know. But it could go lower. It could go lower than this even. That is possible. If we line up, if we want to kind of take this further, you take this low to high here, and you can see the sweet spot, the 618 to the 69, these two white lines, actually lines up right within this square as well, so that's nice to see. If we take the weekly, we pump it out all the way out here, go from the last cycle's highs to this current cycle's lows, and we get a line in there, there's nothing in there, so that doesn't help us at all. So that's okay. The 786 here on this overall like kind of bigger range, come on now, let me get it. This one here, the 786 down here, it does line up with this accumulation phase's 50% mark, this yellow line. That's halfway through the range. We could go all the way down to 120 as well, but as Mr. Chocolate Cookie would like to point out, I like to give 3 price points that we could go to, which would be 148, we'll call it 150. 150, 135, and 120. That's kind of my expectation for Bitcoin Cash until proven otherwise. And what would it take to prove me otherwise, to prove me incorrect here? It wouldn't take much. The ball is definitely, in my opinion, it's in the Bulls' court right now, though the Bears might be quick to overtake that. What it would take really is get a 4-hour to close above this, get some more volume to come in. Close above 219 and 20 cents. What would that be actually? What would it be? 219 and 20 cents. Close above 219.2 on a 4-hour basis. Get some more volume than this candle here, and I will be convinced. I will start to be even more convinced that we are about to break this high. And in fact, once we do that, we're probably going to go up to around this area, up around like 253 at the least. I would think probably around like 240, something like that. But that's all it would take, really. That's really all it would take. It's a 4-hour, I think, to close above there. I mean, there could be bearish divergence, so watch out. I don't think there would be, though, man. I don't think there would be. I think we're past that. So even if it looks like it, I would think it's probably going to go up if we were to do that. But I'm not expecting that right now. We are really close to that, of course. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, RSI kind of looks like it wants to go down lower, though we could be going up. It could be going up on the 15-minute, but that not by much. Maybe up to this purple line, which is again at like 215, 216, right around there. The 1 hour does look weak to me, but we are in this kind of downtrend. We're at like the middle of it, so if we came up a little bit to hit this descending trend line, right, that we have right here, if we came up to about the 50 area and then rejected from there, that's okay. That gives us a couple hours of green side, maybe forming a lower high overall in the price as well. Again, that would, just eyeballing it, kind of come around like the 215 to 216 area. That would make sense to me. And then the 4-hour RSI, I think it's starting to look bearish. I think it is bearish at this moment, right? We got the close. We got the close below here. I think it is starting to look bearish. I mean, yes, this is a wick down here, but have we had big wicks and continue to go lower over time? Yes, we have. So, you know, big wick here and then lower, just a little bit lower, but lower nonetheless. If we get something like this, that could be an indication as well. So watch out for that. But especially if we find support on this previous 4-hour close or where we had wicking highs before. But I'm not really anticipating that. Maybe we find some support for the moment, but like, I don't expect a big bounce off of it. If we get a big bounce off of it, if we go from here and bounce up above this 4-hour, that would be, you know, you can move it down basically a little bit. Instead of being at 219.2, you can move it down to 215, 216, something like that. If we were to go all the way down here and bounce, if we were to get back up above that, I would think that we go. But I'm talking hypotheticals now. That's stuff that just might not ever happen. So I feel like I've been all over the place with this video. I'm sorry if it was hard to follow. If it wasn't hard to follow, then it's just me in my head, which is normally how it happens. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Guys, we hit 700 today. Hit 700. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me get it. Click this here. Does it not say? Maybe I have to click on a channel. We'll click on my latest video here. Make sure it's muted. Good. So you guys don't get to hear. Yeah, 700 subscribers. Whoever you were, 700 subscriber. If you were a bot, a scammer, a new viewer who's just a nice person, I appreciate you, whoever you are. That's pretty cool, guys. It's pretty cool to see. 300 away from 1,000. That's the goal, guys. I would really like to hit 1,000. That'd be cool. By the end of the year would really be cool. But anyways, take care, everybody. I think we do go down. I'm still projecting 145, 150 to 135 being the price targets, with the potential to go down to 120. We could go even lower. We might not go that low. It's possible that this could be the low. So just keep an eye on this thing. Pay attention to it. If you want to join the Discord, I'll leave a link in the description so you can join the Discord, where you can just talk to me if you need to. You know, say things, talk to each other, whatever. Ask questions and kind of be in a safe place where I mean, you can have disagreements. There's people that have disagreements on here, but I mean, I feel like we're all friends more or less, you know. And even if you're not friends, we're all here to learn and to hopefully better each other. So that's the whole point of it, man. So if you want to join it, links in the description. Take it easy. Bye-bye.